The Monogatari series was aired in the wrong order.
Spoilers, the Monogatari series is not just the one core light novel adapted anime known as Bakemonogatari. No, there are many more prefix Monogataris in the series, such as Kizu, Nisei, Neko, Nekogen, but Whitewashed Kabuki, Hana, Otori, Oni, Koi, Tsuki, Koyomi, spoilers Owari, spoilers Zoko, Owari, Waza, spoilers Nare, and Musubi, with the last one not yet published, and likely a few more to come. If you know the order of the anime and paid attention to the order I just gave you, you'd already see the problem. See, by aired in the wrong order, I don't mean that they switched the episodes around so that Fox could cancel them. I mean that entire story arcs are misplaced. Firstly, Kizu Monogatari comes directly after Bakemonogatari and before Nisei Monogatari, chronologically the furthest in the past arc that there is, and everything up to midway through Owari Monogatari was already adapted before we got the first third of Kizu Monogatari. Is that detrimental? Spoilers, yes. Now let me disclaim that if you're a valid fan of the Monogatari series, then you're fluent in Japanese and knew about NISIOISIN before you started writing the series, and so you would have read the light novel for Kizu Monogatari years ago and wouldn't have been affected by these issues, but you aren't, so you haven't, so let me explain. The events of Kizu Monogatari are discussed in arcs that were published after it. This makes sense because as readers of the light novels, they would have read Kizu as intended and would be clued into all of these things, and it wouldn't be confusing. Some of you may be pining for direct examples of stuff that's confusing having not seen or read Kizu Monogatari. Well, for instance, Nisei Monogatari after Kaiki's appearance, Aradagi Koyomi likens him to Guillotine Cutter. Who the fuck is that? I had no idea. All you can chalk that shit up to is probably someone from Kizu Monogatari. That is, if you're in the know well enough to know well enough that Kizu Monogatari even exists. Secondly, in Neko the White, there's Episode. Who the fuck is this? Why does Hanakawa seem to know him, and why does Episode seem to know her? Surely this series will explain later, you quickly justify, but no, you're already supposed to know who Episode is. Whatever, probably someone from Kizu Monogatari, and you continue. It's not as if the information in Kizu Monogatari isn't relevant either. Spoilers, it is. Like when I finally get my hands on the official English translation of the light novel for Kizu Monogatari, which I had to use because the anime adaptation didn't get to be even 1/3 released, I thought to myself, is it all necessary information to understanding the rest of the anime? Spoilers, no. But is it information that you'll need if you want to fully understand these characters and their motivations? Spoilers, yes. Why is Koyomi so weird about Hanakawa wanting to die for her? Well, if you knew Kizu, you'd know. Moving on to a much more pressing deal, Hana Monogatari. If you were watching the Monogatari series second season, you would have seen Hana Monogatari at the end as the final arc after Koi Monogatari. This was not the case for the light novel. If you were a Japanese munchkin reading up on NISIOISIN in the cafeteria of your middle school, you'd know that Hana Monogatari comes after Kabuki Monogatari, spoilers the one with the time travel, and before Otori Monogatari, spoilers the one with the snake talisman. Does this matter? Yes. Why? Spoilers because meta. Kaiki is my favorite character. When I watched Koi Monogatari for the first time, my spoilers was like, holy shit, Kaiki's the protagonist? That's really weird and interesting and weird. I didn't think much of Kaiki from Nisei Monogatari. I thought of him as some douche who antagonized characters that I love and kind of fizzled out as a threat toward the end of the arc he was introduced in. And here he is, being the protagonist. Koi Monogatari made me fall in love with Kaiki. So when at the end, spoilers, Kaiki gets hit in the back of the head and then further beaten when he's down, it was like, holy shit, they just brought in some random antagonist that didn't matter, made him amazing, and then killed him off. You could call me naive. Why would I trust that NISIOISIN would leave him dead? NISIOISIN never kills off characters. Then Hana Monogatari came immediately afterward in an arc that's the furthest in the future that we're ever going to get, and Kaiki returned for an episode with a beard and some meat. Kaki's relationship with Kanbaru is quite fatherly, and you can tell he genuinely cares for her, even if he doesn't outright say it. He was spoilers likely in love with the now-deceased Gaian, Kanbaru Suruga's mother, and was even entrusted to be Kanbaru's godfather, albeit without being paid. So in essence, Kanbaru Suruga is the only thing in the world that Kaiki cares about other than money. So anyway, why is Hana Monogatari coming at the end of the second season a bad thing? It's chronologically furthest in the future, so clearly if you're arguing that it messes up the timeline, you're an idiot. What's the big fucking deal? The big fucking deal is how we feel towards Kaiki. Kaiki, in Hana Monogatari, has this big speech to Kanbaru about how you can hate a person, but that person might not always act in a hateable way. In fact, that person you hate may not hate you back, and he may not ever act in a way that is hateable toward you, thus that person is not allowing you to hate them. It's us. It's fucking us. Hana Monogatari was supposed to be shown to us before Kaiki is redeemed in Koi Monogatari. We're still supposed to think of him as some douchebag and be actively against him because he antagonized characters we love. In fact, antagonizing characters we love is exactly why Kanbaru distrusts Kaiki. This scene is a metaphor for the audience hating a supposedly villainous character. So that's the end of my point about that. Wait, what's this? In Otori Monogatari, the arc with the snake talisman that was published to be the arc that you read immediately after Hana Monogatari in the original light novels features this spoilers word of advice from the snake god. Good people can become bad. Bad people can become good. Do you get it? You are supposed to have read Hana Monogatari! The arc and narrative of the Monogatari series built upon itself linearly even though the arcs aren't in chronological order! It's meta as fuck! Lastly, Koyomi Monogatari should be watched before Owari Monogatari. Why? Because at the end of Koyomi Monogatari, when spoilers Koyomi fucking dies, it's like, whoa, Gaian killed me with that sword, how'd she get that sword? But at the end of the first half of Owari Monogatari, which is as far as the anime is adapted as of this writing, it gives us the solution to how she got that sword. But if you watch the anime as it aired, we get the solution before we get the mystery, thus fucking over the mystery entirely. God damn it, just watch this shit in the order it was written!